Can you hear me now? No. Yes, you can hear me now, right? So let me start all over again. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Let me go back to the presentation really quickly. This is not going to take long. Thank you for letting me know that you can't hear me. You should be able to hear me now, right? Let me see. All right. Check one. Can you hear me now? Can somebody say we can hear you? You can put a question in the chat. Hear me. I think you can hear me because I see the microphone lighting up in green. So let me start over again quickly. So thank you. This is the OFBI FY24 Q&A webinar for the New Jersey Freedom Schools. Today we'll be reviewing the grant guidelines and accessing the grant applications. Yes, I can hear you. Very good. Thank you. To download the application, you can write down this long URL, or you can simply Google the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. When you get to our landing page, scroll down to Spotlight, click Grant Opportunities. SAGE stands for Systems Administration for Grants. And our website is www.sage.nj.gov. This SAGE is different from the green SAGE. So if you never apply for a grant to the Department of State, there's some things that you're going to have to do in order to gain access to the application portal. When you're accessing Blue Sage, please use Microsoft Edge, Safari, or Firefox. Do not use Google Chrome, because Google Chrome does not interface at all with Blue Sage. And if you're delegating some of these tasks, some of the tasks for information to be uploaded into your application, let whomever that's accessing the application know not to use Google Chrome, because what's going to happen is you upload information in Google Chrome and it's going to look like everything is uploaded, and then when you submit it, we get a blank application at our end. Remember to always hit the save button in Sage. Sage doesn't have an automatic save feature. Always hit save, even if you're in doubt. If you have any questions, you can call us at 609-984-6952, 609-984-6952, or you can email us at this email address, ofbi@sos.nj.gov, ofbi@sos.nj.gov, or you can text me or call me on my cell. My cell phone number is 732-289-1896, 732-289-1896. Okay, now we're going to go live, right? So let me just... So when you Google the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives, you land on our homepage. On the top, you'll see a navigation bar that says about the office, grant opportunities, quarter review, resource webinars, OFBI peer reviewers. And you can scroll down, and you can access the application by going to spotlights and clicking grant opportunities. If you want information on funding and other resource opportunities from federal, other state agencies, federal departments, foundations, and corporations, click Instant Connect under resources, and you'll be asked to fill out a form, submit the form, and you'll be added to our email distribution. All right, so I just clicked on grant opportunities. So when you scroll down, you'll see application due April 20th, 2023. And that's pretty important to know, because it's February 13th, April 20th. It's a month away, almost 67 days away, if I'm not mistaken. You have a lot of time to look at the application, call me, ask questions, pick my brain. If you're having issues getting into Sage, there's no rush, because we have over 2 months to get it done. And I've said this in all of my webinars. Invariably, there's going to be somebody that's going to wait up to either the day of the application due date, April 19th, or the week of April 9th, the week of April 20th, to, call me in a panic. So you got a lot of time to do this, right? You've got a lot of time to do this. So the application that we're talking about today is New Jersey Freedom School Social Innovation Guidelines. If you scroll further down, these are all of our TA sessions that we've conducted this week, and I'll show you where they're uploaded. This is the introduction to logic model. A lot of organizations didn't receive funding last year because they didn't upload the logic model. And why didn't they upload the logic model? Because we had a TA session in January and the application was due like in May sometime. It's because they accessed the information late. It was the day the application was due. They just hired a fund developer. The fund developer had no idea what he or she was doing. And so they just uploaded whatever they wanted to upload, and it didn't work. So a lot of organizations didn't get funded. This is the board resolution that you need to upload. It's a fillable PDF. Download it, save it, fill it out. You need to upload that. This is a logic model. This logic model is going to be key when you complete the application, because the logic model needs to align with the budget, the program design, the goals and objectives, and then the impact that your approach has on your program participants. So everything that's on the logic model needs to align with what's on the application. And this 5-minute webinar, Introduction to Logic Model, explains exactly what we want to see. And don't upload any other logic model that you think you need. You have. Upload ours. Upload ours. And then if you scroll up further down, you're going to be asked for your congressional district and legislative district. So if you click congressional districts, you'll be taken to a page where you can find your correct congressional district. And then if you click legislative district, you'll be taken to a page where you'll find the legislative districts. There's some districts here that have multiple, the same number but multiple times. Let me see if it's here. No, it's not here. So it's the legislative district, right? And then so now what I want to do is I want to go to the navigation bar on the right, and I'm going to click webinar. If you've never applied for a grant through the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives, then you need to register to gain access to Blue Sage. Watch this 5, 6, 7-minute webinar. It provides step-by-step instructions on how to register. It takes about 5 business days to get an email from Sage to say, hey, you are authorized to gain access to the application. This February 13th. So if you do it today, if you do it next week, and then if you get it authorization the last week of February or the first week of March, you're good, right? It's no stress, it's nothing to do, right? But if you wait until April 13th and it takes 5 minutes, if it takes 5 business days and you don't get it by April 20th, let's say, because the person who does the authorization maybe was sick that day, you're not going to be able to submit an application. This section here, once you register for Sage and gain authorization, then the next thing that you're supposed to do is complete the information found on the organizational additional profile information page. This webinar provides step-by-step instructions on how to gain access to your charity registration number and proof that that number is valid, business revenue number and proof that that number is valid. It shows you where you need to upload it, your 501c3 determination letter. It shows where you need to upload and where you have to navigate through the New Jersey Department of Treasury for your certificate of incorporation. And it shows you how you need to navigate the New Jersey Department of Treasury to gain your certificate of standing. The only documents that you have to pay for, if you're non-compliant for charities registration, that means that 9 out of 10 times, it means that you're behind in whatever fees you need to pay, right? So you need to figure that out. And this webinar explains who you need to contact and what you need to contact in order to make that happen. There is a fee for the certificate of incorporation, and there's a fee for the certificate of standing. Here's a tip. Since we don't know whether you're going to be approved funding or not, the easiest thing to do is to put a placeholder in the areas where you need to upload stuff, and in the areas where you need to insert a number, and where you need to upload, you should upload a Word document that says something like this. If we're awarded a grant, we will purchase and upload all the required documents. Because Sage, and then upload that. Sage doesn't care what you upload so long as you upload something, okay? And then if you're awarded the grant, then you can go ahead and lay out the money to get those 3 or 4 documents. But it doesn't make sense to do it now, or since you're not sure if you're going to get the grant or not. These webinars on the bottom here are the previous webinars that we've done. So this one here is Project Atlas. This one here is Social Innovation. This one here is Special Projects. This one here is Social Enterprise Entrepreneurship Development. And then the last one would be the Freedom School one. So this will be there. So now let me go to the grant opportunities page and open up the Freedom School application. And I'm just going to simply go over this so that you guys have a sense of what we're asking you to upload into Sage. So this eligibility criteria, you need to be able to upload those 5 documents. These are ineligible applicants. We don't fund house of worship, colleges or university, public schools, charter schools, or private schools. The Freedom School funding is $50,000 for a total of $250,000. The Freedom School grant is designed to provide a summer enrichment program to K-12 grade students with rich, culturally relevant teaching models facilitated in a multicultural, multiracial environment. The program must include 5 essential components: high-quality academics and character-building enrichment, parent and family involvement, civic engagement and social action, intergenerational servant leadership development, and nutrition, health and mental health well-being services. In order to apply for the OBI Freedom School grant, the organization must be a 2023 certified New Jersey Freedom School through the Children's Defense Fund schools program. And if you want more information about that, there's the link there. And also the certified schools, it's not a school per se, right? So it's called Freedom School, but it's not an academic school. It is what I just read there. All Freedom Schools that are certified must upload the 2023 approval letter. All right. The funding period is July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. All right. So this is the application requirements, right? So you need to, the project summary. Now I'll go through the actual Sage application, the Sage portal, to show you where this all goes in, where this all fits. So briefly indicate the mission of the organization, as well as the proposed activities, goals, and objectives, and the impact the program is designed to achieve. Where do you get this information? From the logic model. If you do the logic model first, right, a lot of the stuff that I'm asking you for can be, a lot of the ideas and concepts and approaches are pulled from the logic model and inserted in the appropriate areas. So the project summary is actually a summary of your logic model, okay? Organizational capacity. Indicate how long the organization has been implementing the program it's applying for. Briefly indicate the impact it's had in 2022 as a Freedom School. Provide a description of the staff associated with the program and the roles. So, statement of need. Indicate which surveys, needs assessments were used to inform the organization that the program is needed in the community. We just want to know, why are Freedom School necessary in your geographic location, and what documents, research, surveys, either externally or internally, that you've done says that this is needed in your local geographic location. Project design. Provide a detailed response to the following. Explain how it is historically connected to the civil rights movement. What is the pedagogy of teaching to assure that the environment is culturally responsible and culturally sustaining? How does it plan to how does it plan to be financially sustainable? How does it plan to assure that there are strong school family engagement strategies in place. Now, in your logic model, under activities, all your activities that you indicate in your logic model should align with what's being asked in the project design, right? And then you're going to have to figure out, well, how are we going to use this grant to support whatever it is that we want to do above and beyond answering these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points. Target population, describe the target population, goals and objectives, right? Indicate the goals and objectives associated with the project. The logic model, outputs, goals, outcomes, objectives. If you write the logic model correctly and you put your goals on the outputs and you put your goals on the outcomes for the period of the program, then all you need to do is pull from the outputs and outcomes. And by the way, the peer reviewers are going to make also sure, they're also going to make sure that your goals and objectives, your activities, and your resources align with the logic model. Evaluation, indicate how the project will plan to utilize an independent evaluator to evaluate the impact of the Freedom Schools, articulate the model, and create a case study for publication. I'm not asking you to articulate the model, and I'm not asking you to create a case study for publication. What I'm simply asking you is how will the project plan to utilize an independent evaluator to evaluate the impact of the Freedom School, and how can that independent evaluator articulate the model and create a case study for publication? That's all I'm asking for, right? And then the budget. Complete all budget forms in Sage. Now, these dollar amounts are expenditures that you can utilize for this grant. So you can use up to $2,000 for the purchase of technology. You can put aside $1,500 for administrative costs. You can put $1,000 of grant funds can be used for staff development, because, you know, as a Freedom School, there is some training that you have to go to, especially in Tennessee. So you can charge this grant to support you in that. You know, what might be the cost to hire a third-party evaluator? You could put that up there. Up to 85% of the grants can be used for personnel. You have to upload the board resolution, the logic model, and 3 letters of support, right? So under the statement of collaboration. So prior to COVID, we used to have folks upload 3 letters of support. And then when COVID hit, it was challenging. You know, everybody was, you know how it was. And so I was like, you know what? Just tell us who the 3 collaborating partners are within the application. But now that we're on the other side of that monster, and, you know, things seem to be getting back to normal, now we're asking you to not only identify 3 collaborating partners, but also upload 3 support letters. Now, what should these support letters be? Well, they should be letters that say Organization A supports Organization B in the implementation of the Freedom School, and we will provide, I don't know, let's say mental health services, because let's say that organization is funded to do mental health services to the clients that Organization B refers to us. So that's a collaboration, right? It should be an organization that provides resources that the children and the families that you provide services to need, but you don't currently provide. Okay. All right. What else is there? Okay. And then now we're gonna go to Sage. Where the heck is that at? I gotta find it now. Here we go. All right. So when you get authorization to Sage, you go to www.sage.nj.gov, and you'll land on this page. The reason we call it Blue Sage, because on the top left-hand corner is blue. And so if you forgot, let's say you forgot your username, right? So you want to click, let's say you forgot your password. You remember your username. Click forgot username and password. It brings you to this page. You'll have to insert your username, and if you forgot your username, you got to go through this exercise, or you can just email me and say, hey, Eddie, I forgot our username. Can you find my username? And that's probably quicker than you going through this process for the username. But for the password, let's say you remember your username. The email that you enter here where it says please enter your email address must be the email that you registered with in Sage. Because if you put a different email, it's not gonna go to that email. So let's say you put that email that you registered in Sage here and you click reset my password and email and email me the new one. What's going to happen is that Sage is going to email you a randomized password of letters and numbers. And you're going to do what people do. You're going to copy and paste that and place it on the password, and you're still not going to be able to get in. Why? Because you need to insert each character independently into the password, right? The temporary password in there. And then you click log in, and then it takes you to another page where you can actually then put in your actual new password, and then you log in. All right. So this is our test site. It looks like the live site, but we use it to test application and reports and things of that nature. Let me just click some of these things off. All right. So Sage is a little temperamental, so sometimes it takes a minute. So when you land on the blue Sage, see this blue bar here? That's why we call it blue Sage. You'll come to the My Task page. Your My Task page is not going to look this busy because this is a test site. So this is everybody in the department is testing their respective application. So when you get to this page, you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you click View Opportunities. And then under Provider, you expand the drop-down box and you click NJ Sage __ DOT. And then under Document Instant, you put Social Innovation. You don't put Freedom School, you'll never find it. And you click Filter. See, I put at NJ Sage DOT. It should be NJ Sage -DOS. And you type in Social Innovation. Do not put New Jersey Freedom School. You'll never find it. And what's going to pop up is not all this stuff. What's going to pop up is OFBI Social Innovation 2024, and then for the name of your organization, you come down to the bottom, you click Apply Now. You're brought to the agreement page, and then these two links. The first button says New Jersey Department of State General Funding Guidelines. That's just generalized information about Sage. The second link, usually what we used to put here was the actual guidelines, but I was like, sometimes we make changes to the grant guidelines throughout the opening period of the grant, and it's a hassle to try to make the changes, upload the new one here and upload the new one on the website. So this link just takes you to our website where you can gain access to the most current application. Okay, so now you click I agree. And you're on the application page. First thing we want you to do is hover over Forms and click Profile Information. Now, it's really easy. You could do this, one section a day at a time. Again, if you wait until the week of, this is not going to be a user-friendly platform. It's not user-friendly now. It's even less user-friendly when you wait until the last minute. So when you get onto this page, you're not going to see this. This is a test site, and all this is going to be empty. And you're going to say to me, well, on March, you're going to say, hey, Eddie, why is, you're going to be calm. Why is this not working? And I'll say, oh, you know why? Because, the second webinar about step 1 organizational information, you got to do that part first. But, you got time. You got more than a month and a half, to go in there, watch the webinar. It'll be fine. On April 19th, you're going to be panicking because you promised your executive director that this would be in, or if you're a fund developer, that you wouldn't drop the ball on this. But when you get to this page, the only thing everything on here should be empty. And what we need you to do is fill out these 4 boxes, right? So we're going to go to, I don't know, we're going to just insert Will, and then Guardians, because I'm a Marvel guy and Galaxy. So if you know what I'm doing, I'm playing with this stuff, right? Guardians of the Galaxy. All right. And then you come down to the bottom, you click this checkoff box, and then you come up to the top and you click save. What Sage is doing is it's migrating the information that you uploaded in the additional profile information page of that second webinar that I showed you, and it's migrating it to this page. This is so today, February 13th, right? It migrates all this information. It migrates your charity's registration number, your division of revenue number, the name of the executive director, and then the address and the board president and the congressional legislative district. What's going to happen on April 19th or April 20th is the person is going to click save, and then an error sign is going to happen. And they didn't watch this webinar because in this webinar I say if you get an error message here, it sometimes takes Sage 2 times to complete the migration of the information from one part of Sage to this part of Sage. So you have to hit save again twice. All right. So I'm just hitting it twice. All right, so it's saved. The next thing you do is hover over Performance menu and come down to the selection of grant categories. And if you know, like, okay, and then you, let me see, please, yes. And then you put the name of your project under the project title. You expand the drop-down box and you click New Jersey Freedom School. Right. I'll put my phone number in the text, in the chat. Myself. And then you come up to the top. Now there's a couple of things you can do. You can click save. You can click save next. That saves the page and then goes to the next page in the order of this tree here. Or you can click save. And then hover over Performance menu. And then you can go in any order you want. You don't have to go in the order that it's prescribed here, but I'm going to go in the order because this is a teaching moment. So the next form I want to click is organization contact information. And sometimes Sage it's just, okay. So don't worry about that because you won't see that there. You'll come down here and anything with an asterisk you need to complete. You need to fill in, right? So I'm going to go to, I like Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek fan. So I'm going to go with Mr. Captain Kirk. James T. Kirk, for those that know. All right. And then organization name is Starfleet, right? I think, yeah, it is. And then it's somewhere in Wyoming or Ohio, if you know the history. So we're going to put Trenton, New Jersey here, the zip code, the telephone number, and then you put an email here. This is just a fictitious email, bone.StarTrekUS.starfleet.com, something I made up. Then it is the project director, and I'm going to put Uhura, and then Nyota. I think her name, Nyota. I think it's her last name, believe it. The address is Starfleet address, and then you want to put in Trenton, New Jersey, the zip, the telephone number, and then an email, right? And then the chief financial officer might be Mr. Bones McCoy, that's the doctor. And you want to put in the telephone number and the email, and then this is where you put the agency-wide budget. All right? You scroll up to the top and you click save. When Sage is still spinning, it takes a minute, and you're gonna see that, like, it's February 13th, and I'm impatient with it. So imagine how it is on April 19th or even April 20th at 2 o'clock. All right, so you hover over Forms menu and you click Project Summary. So when you start actually doing the application, this is why you need to have the grant guidelines next to you, because Sage is not asking you those bullets. And you just can't put anything you want to put in here. You've got to follow what's in the grant guidelines. So for test purposes, I'm going to say test, and I'm going to click Save Next. I just put my cell phone in the chat there. Hope everybody got it. And then because I click Save and Save Next, I'm in the organization capacity page. And you got to read the grant guidelines to answer that correctly. And so I'm just going to click Save now, because I don't want to click Save Next. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna hover, as you see the green light there, this means everything is saved. Then you hover over Forms menu, and you come to the next one, which is Statement of Need. So, so a lot of the Freedom Schools have been around for over a decade, but you still need to put down why, why is your program relevant? Do people really know about it? And is the target population stating that it wants the academic enrichment program that you provide addressed? Like, do they identify that as a need? Or it's a need, but it's not in like the top 3 of the priorities of need for your targeted population. So you click up to the top and you click Save. Because just because you've been around for a while doesn't necessarily mean that you're addressing a need that's actually needed by the community. So you're going to have to put that in there, which is good information for us too. All right. Then you hover over Forms menu. You scroll down, Statement of Collaboration. This is where it gets a little, where it's just additional steps. So you need 3 statements of collaboration. So you put the name of the first organization down, and then because they sent you a letter of support that says this is how we're supporting this program by providing services that we provide to their clients that they don't provide, something to that effect, right? That's just one way of thinking about it. You go up to the top and you click Save. You have to follow these steps the way I'm going to show you. All right. And then to add the next organization, come up to the top and click Add. Now, remember, this is a competitive grant. So you still have to score 70 or higher to be considered. And I am not the person that's reviewing the application. We have independent peer reviewers that make the final decision on that. And once they put their grades in, and if you don't score high enough, I can't get to you if it's not 70 or higher. Okay. You put the name of the second organization and the organization 2, and then you summarize that support letter, because it's saying something like, we're going to allow them to use, we're Church X or XYZ, or we're Temple XYZ, or we're Mosque XYZ, and we're going to allow agency A to use our space as a community center to implement their summer enrichment program. Well, that's a collaborative relationship. You go up to the top, you click Save. Now, you may have more than 3 collaborators, but we only want 3. All right. Then, okay, we have org number 2. So to add the third one, you go up to the top, click Add. And then it wipes it out, and then you put org number 3. You summarize that support letter, and then you go up to the top, you click Save. And the peer reviewers, they read these statements of collaboration. And a lot of organizations lose points because the 3 organizations that they upload or they indicate in Sage, it's the same information for all 3. And so it's really hard for them to believe that 3 different agencies are going to provide the same services for you. So you gotta make sure that happens. That's different stuff. All right. So how do you know you've uploaded the 3 collaborating statements? When you come over here and you see the drop down box and it says org 1, org 2, org 3, you're good to go. Hover over forms menu, scroll down to project design, click project design. All right. And then it'll give you, okay, you need to read the grant guidelines. What's the project design? Who's the target population? What are the project goals? And what's the evaluation? Remember I said about the logic model? Project design. So when you start talking about the activities, all the activities that you identify for how you're going to use this grant over the summer needs to be indicated here, and it needs to align here on the project design. I'm just going to put test for now. On the target population, who's your population, what's their economic situation, what zip code do they live, what's are they males, are they females, are they only males, are they only females, are you providing services to the family as well? So who are they, stuff like that. Project goals and objectives. So when you do the project goals and objectives, again, outputs, goals, outcomes, objectives, they should align with what's in the project model. And if you do the project model first, it's a lot easier to then copy and paste that information in here, right? Evaluation. It's, how are you going to value the impact of your approach? Like, how are you going to say that what we've done is success? Boom, logic model. So whatever's in the impact column of your logic model are the ideas and approaches that you're going to use to indicate the success of your program. That's how you're going to evaluate it. And then you put it in here. What we don't need is for folks to unearth their evaluation textbooks that they used in college 50 years ago, and you didn't open it up then, and you're going to open it up now, and you're just going to find a chapter that talks about evaluation that's outdated because it's an old way of evaluating programs, and then insert it here. That's not what we want. It needs to align with the logic. After you've done that, you go up to the top, you click Save. And you hover over Forms menu, and then you go into the budget. You go into the budget. So it's $50,000, right? So if you're going to say, well, we're going to use $50,000 for one salary, that's not going to happen. Well, we're going to use $50,000 for 85% of the grant for salaries. The peer reviewers are going to look at the budget, right? Because in the logic model, resources and inputs column are the resources that you need in order to do the activities that you state. And because you're able to do the activities, you're able to do the goals and objectives that you state. And because you're able to do the goals and objectives, you're going to have some impact that you're going to be able to evaluate the success of your program. Resources is the budget column of the logic model, right? And so if you simply just put, I don't know, $42,000 for one person, the peer reviewers are going to look at that and say, well, how are you going to do all this other stuff that you say you're going to do? So you got to be really realistic. Like, they're going to read the grant guidelines and say, well, why aren't you thinking about a third-party evaluator here to show the impact of your program? Like, how are you going to pay that off? And so you got to be real, you got to really think about what you're going to do here, right? If you're paying if you're going to charge the grant a percentage of 1 or 2 people's time, and you're going to charge fringe breakdown, then you need to indicate what that is here. I don't know what the fringe breakdown, I'm just going to use one, right? And let's say is, I don't know, program coordinator, right? And then program coordinator 1, and then program coordinator 2. Why 1 or 2? Because if the titles are similar, you need to make each title unique. And so a number makes it unique, because Sage needs to know that each of these positions are unique. All right, and then staff name. Who am I gonna Black Adams. Let's just, which is a horrible movie. I mean, you talk about, anyway, $35,000 he makes. Standard weekly hours is 35. Weekly hours on this project, let's say 5. And then you're gonna charge the grant $5,000. Let's just say. Then for program coordinator 2, it's, who is it? It's Wesley Snipes. I forget that character. Blade. You know, that's a DC character as well. Let's say $35,000 he makes. He works 35 hours a week, and he's gonna work 5 hours on the job, and you're gonna charge him $5,000. And then you go up to the top and you click save. And then Sage is doing all the calculations for you, saying, okay, he works 35,000, his salary is 35,000. He works 35 hours a week. He's going to work 5 hours a week on this job. You're going to charge the grant $5,000. And that means that, yeah, you're good. There are no negatives here. And so let's say that you want to hire somebody and not pay them fringe. You can't put fringe and non-fringe people on the same page. So let's just go up here and click add. Right? And you leave the fringe breakdown empty, and you put program coordinator 3. Because again, right, it needs to be unique because you have 2 other program coordinators. And the person's name is Black Superman. That's a DC. Now, I don't think they'll ever make a movie about that one, unless it's in a different universe. So the Black Superman works 35 hours a week on here, not in Krypton. And then he's going to work 5 hours on this job, and you're going to charge him, let me say it's Black Superwoman. And you're going to charge her $5,000. You go up to the top, you click save. Sage is doing all the calculations for you. All right, so everything is saved, right? Yep, great. So next thing you do is you go for hover over forms menu, and you go to consultant contractors. And let's say you're going to partner with another organization, evaluation. And let's say you guys decide, you know what, let's split the cost of this and evaluate, create case study and model of Freedom School, right? And let's say it comes out to, I don't know, $60,000, but your portion is going to be $10,000, right? Go up to the top, click save. Sage is, oh, this is going to be good because it's going to show an error here. So Sage is calculating, okay, so there's an error. Why is there an error? Was it an error because I forgot to check off this box where there's an asterisk? Do consultant services demonstrate a true employer non-employee relationship as per IRS regulations? You click yes. You go up to the top again, you click save. So that's that. That's 10. That's $25,000 I've already spent. Right? 10. And then another 10. Yeah, about 25,000. All right. So it's okay. So why do you see this $50,000 here? Because you said that it's going to cost $60,000 to pay for an evaluator, right? And you're going to partner with some other organization to make this happen. And then what you're going to charge the grant is $10,000. Sage is saying, well, you're saying it's 60, and you're only going to charge the grant 10. So that means that the other 50 are going to come from other funding sources. And we don't really care where those other funding sources come with. It's an assumption that it's coming from somewhere else. All right, so you scroll up to the top, hover over Forms menu, and you click Other Cost Categories. We're almost done, folks. All right, so other cost categories, you have what, like $30,000 to go? So let's say you're gonna do travel. So let's say that you have to go to, I don't know, CDF training in, I don't know, Tennessee, right? And let's say, I don't know, I have no idea what that cost is going to be. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, $5,000 here, and you're going to charge the grant $5,000 there, right? And then you're going to say under other, you're going to say admin cost, and you're going to say for costs not yet realized, because admin, the $1,500 gives you the wiggle room that organizations need to make it happen, because they forget. Oh man, we need a bus, and how are we going to pay for the bus? Well, you got an admin line item there. And then let's say you want to space rental, let's say, I don't know, and let's say you're going to charge the grant $500 for rent, right? I'm just throwing that out there. And let's say rent is $20,000, 20123, and you're charging the grant $500. All right. And then let's say consumable supplies or office supplies. We don't need to know how many paper clips you're gonna order. Let's say it's $1,000. $1,000. You're gonna charge a grant $1,000. Let's say you need to buy some stuff for the summer school programs. I don't know. Let's say meals. Yeah, you got to feed these kids, right? And hopefully they get fed. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And let's say for the entire summer, it comes out to $10,000, but you're going to charge the grant $4,500, right? And then let's just do another one. Equipment. Let's say, a lot of these local communities are flush with technology because they have to they have to step their game up with technology with COVID. Now they have all these laptops that are like gonna be outdated in like another year, but they still want to use it. I don't know. Let's say internet connection, right? I mean, if you're doing an internet, no. That would be other. That would be under other. Connections, let's just say. And let's say you got to pay for Wi-Fi, right? Internet. And you want the best internet, because if you're doing an academic program in the summertime and everybody has a laptop, they're all pulling from the same provider, the internet. So you don't want anybody getting stuck. And let's say that's going to cost you just for the summertime to get the best internet that you can get with the fastest speed. Let's say it'll cost you $500 a month times 3 months. So let's say that's $1,500, but I know that can be expensive. All right, you go up to the top and you click save. Now, of course, everything I just laid out here should be under the resource column of the logic model. Oops, there we go. All right, everything's been saved. We're good to go. And you hover over Forms menu, You come down to the overall budget. So Sage is calculating and doing what Sage does. You come to the overall budget, and I'm shy by what? $9,300. So you want to go back into the budget page and add stuff, or add an additional line item in areas that I didn't, to make it $50,000. But you just might be, you just might say, you know what, Ed, we don't need $50,000. We just need $39,700. And if that works for you, then you come up to the top, because you costed this out properly and you don't really need the $50,000. You come up to the top and you click save. What Sage is doing is taking those numbers from all those different budget forms and migrating them onto this form right here. So you're good to go. Everything's migrated over. Then you go hover over Forms menu, scroll down to required appendices. And then I think there's 2 required appendices that you need to upload. One is the board resolution. I'm just going to upload a random document. And you click save. What is the other one? A logic model, 3 letters of support. And then you go to hover over Forms menu, scroll down, click appendices. And then this is where you would upload the logic model. So under description, you would write logic model. And on the choose file, you would find it wherever that is on your computer. You upload that. And then you would put a support letter 1, find that, upload that. Then you would write support letter 2, find that, upload that, and then you would write support letter 3. Find that, upload that. Now, let me give you a tip. So each of the sections have character limits. And if you think that additional information would put your application in a better competitive advantage, what you might want to do in the project design to further emphasize the impact that you're having, you can say, hey, please go to appendices for this newspaper article. Please go to appendices for these testimonials. Please, you see what I'm saying? You can add additional stuff to support your application. So you go up to the top, you click save. Sage is saving all this stuff. All right, so now you're ready to submit. Before you submit, you hover over Forms menu, and every page that has a pencil on it it's completed and has no errors. The statement of collaboration, it has 2 pages. That means that it has 3. You've uploaded 3 collaborating organizations, and if you hover over statement of collaboration, another window opens up that says org 1, org 2, org 3. Personnel expenses are correct. You did 2 pages. Everything is fine there. There isn't a yellow hand that says stop, so you're ready to submit. How do you submit? You hover over status change. You apply status under application submitted. You click apply status. Look at that, 1 o'clock. You agree, yes, I want to submit the application. So if you have any questions, you could write it in the Q&A section of the Zoom bar below. And then how do you know that your application is submitted? Well, after you submit the application, you're brought back to this document snapshot page. And then you'll hover over, you'll expand this arrow to make it point down, and this box opens up. And if you go all the way to the right, you see info, document type, organization, role, current status. It'll say application submitted. And that's how you know when your application is submitted. So does anyone have any questions? I don't see any questions here. I'm assuming that you would call me and or email me or text me. And so if there aren't any questions about the New Jersey Freedom School webinar, good luck. You have a lot of time now to get it in. Please don't wait until April 20th to try to get this in. You can take my time hostage between now and 2 weeks prior to the due date. That means I can schedule a Zoom meeting with you. I could meet with you and your leadership. You can ask me questions and see if I think you're going in the right direction. But the week of the application is due, you can't take my time hostage because I'm going to be putting out a lot of fires that week. Okay. Good luck. Enjoy the nice weather outside, everybody. This webinar will be posted on our website, hopefully by the end of this week. Take care. Bye-bye.